Hello everyone, back to this again, but we won't lose heart. We'll keep moving on and we'll see how we're getting on in a few weeks. Okay, so we're moving on to our next chapter today. It's about food additives. So this is something we would have covered in Junior Cert. It is something that I suppose is pretty topical. We are always aware of, brightly colored foods, different flavors, and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to get you to do is just do a little bit of recall. I know the brains might be a bit rusty after Christmas, etc. But I'm just going to get you to answer these questions before. So close the books for a second and we'll have a look at this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to get you to do is define what you think an additive is. Maybe the function, what these do. Okay, and can you give an example? All right, this is all from Junior Cert. So I know some of you didn't maybe study it at Junior Cert, but give it a go. 2 advantages of why we add food additives, 2 disadvantages. What is given to the food additives? What code is given to food additives that have passed safety tests and have been approved for use throughout the European Union? And we leave it at that for this one, just to get the brains going on this topic. Okay, so you can stop me here, answer the questions. You can reverse there. I'll start up at the top again, just rewind, I should say, and you can give it a go. All right. Now, so we're back to food additives here. Okay, I hope you got on okay, and you can go back at the end. We'll go back to that Junior Cert recall and see whether you were right or wrong. Okay, so what are additives? You can underline this. They are substances they are substances intentionally added to food in relatively small amounts to improve its color, its flavor, texture, so the feel of it, the nutritional value, and its shelf life, so how long it's going to last. And these substances can be natural or artificially made. So sometimes we think of additives as being really bad for us, but like they might add vitamin C, they might add vitamin D, calcium, etc. So it's not necessarily bad for us, but I think, again, media has kind of given it bad press. Okay, so what groupings or classifications can food additives be put into? They can be colorings. So that's one of the answers there, is like what code is given in the European Union. It's E numbers. Okay. So colorings have E numbers between 100 and 199, sweeteners 900 and 999. Antioxidants, now we'll find out what they do, but they basically block oxygen and stop the food from breaking down because of oxygen. They're the E300s to 399. Nutritive additives don't have E numbers, they have to be given their full names. Preservatives, E200 to 299. Flavorings too have to be given their full names. Now, flavor enhancers, you may not have heard of these before. An example of one would be monosodium glutamate. We'll have a look at them in more detail as we go on, E600 to 699. And physical conditioning agents. So the physical condition of the food, which means what it looks like, how it lasts in a certain like powder or a gel, etc. So they're the 400s to the 499s as well. So we're going to break these down, look at them differently. We're going to look at natural versions and we're going to look at artificial versions. And what I will say to you is no one of each. Okay, no a natural, no an artificial one. These come up sometimes in short questions, in a long question that might ask you about the benefits of adding additives, etc. to foods. Okay, so colorings are first. You can see some of them there in the picture: dried cochineal beetles and cochineal powder. Okay, so that comes from insects. A lot of original colorings, the natural colorings, would come from insects, come from vegetables. So, for example, beetroot, tomatoes, spinach, they would all give colorings to foods in the past. Okay, so why do we need colorings? The functions of these then improve the color of food, so like soft drinks. They replace color lost during processing. For example, during canning peas, they change from bright green to olive green. So you don't want kind of dull old green peas when you open the tin. You want a nice bright green pea, like you'd find in a fresh pea or a frozen pea. So they add in green food coloring there. And they add color to colorless foods as well. So ice pops. Otherwise, if you didn't have orange coloring to a sparkler, I think it is, it would just be like a big lump of ice, an orange flavored lump of ice sitting on a lollipop stick. So they add the orange coloring in. So let's have a look. The natural ones first. So you've got chlorophyll, which is a green one. It comes from plants. Okay, and it's used in lime flavored jelly, and it's green colored fruit gum sweets as well. So your fruit pastilles, your wine gums, etc. Your carotene, which is a yellow or orange color, comes from carrots. And you'll find that in orange colored soft drinks and orange colored fruit gum sweets, your fruit pastilles, your wine gums. Caramel then is brown, so we know that sugar caramelizes when heated, so it's a heated carbohydrate. So your gravy powder or granules and your Coca-Cola flavored soft drinks as well would have caramel in it. And cochineal is red or crimson, which is another type of red. It comes from cochineal beetles, which can be either dried or ground, which is put into a powder. And you'd find it in processed meat like sausages to make them that nice bright pink color that we associate with sausages, or pink colored fruit gum sweets. So, did you know 70,000 cochineal beetles must be crushed to produce 1 pound or 454 grams of red dye? That's a lot when you think about it, isn't it? So if we have a look here, I managed, it's slim pickings in the house in January, I suppose, found a few things here. So if you can look here, color here is ammonia caramel. So that's your brown coloring. It's a gravy granules. Okay. Then we have jelly. All right. So we'll have a look down here, and you can see that there's carmines and carotenes. Okay. This is a strawberry jelly. Raspberries red anyway. Strawberry and carotenes are orangey red anyway. And finally, then there's a bottle of rock shandy or something. Okay. And you can see there as well. Colors beta carotene and a different type of beta carotene as well, but it's an orangey color, similar to club orange. Okay, so there are natural colorings. All right, so we will move on to our artificial colorings then. Okay, so these are man-made in laboratories. So the first one is tartrazine. It's yellow. It's made from coal tar. So coal tar, you'll find, is a common theme. You can see there in the table, it's all coal tar. What is it? It's a black, thick, opaque, which means you cannot see through it. A black, thick, opaque liquid obtained from the distillation of coal. So as coal is being processed and ready to be, as we buy it in bags, there's a lot of byproducts, and coal tar is one of them. You can buy coal tar shampoo as well for dandruff, etc. It has many uses. So in this case, tartrazine is used in orange-coloured fruit drinks, such as Lucozade. Okay. Sunset yellow is another one. It's a yellowy orange color, again from coal tar, found in yellow and orange colored soft drinks. Ponzo 4R is a red color, again coal tar, and it's used, I should say, in red colored soft drinks. And then green S is coal tar again, and it's found in canned peas. Okay, so I don't have any canned peas, but you might do yourself. You could have a quick peek. You could pause me and have a quick peek there and see if you find any of those in any products. Okay, so they are our colorings. As I said, remember there are natural ones found in nature, and then you have your artificial ones made in the lab. But as we see here, they're all coal tar, which is this liquid. It's a byproduct of the distillation of coal. Okay. So there's an example there of a question then in 2 types of food additives used in food or processed fruit and vegetables. So that's an ordinary level short question there. Now, sweeteners are next, and as the name suggests, they sweeten things, okay? And a natural sweetener, as we all know, is sugar. What do sweeteners do? They sweeten foods such as biscuits. They sweeten specialist foods for consumers with diabetes, so sugar-free chocolate. And then there are intense sweeteners. A little goes a long way with these, and they're used to sweeten low-calorie foods, for example, diet drinks, okay? And the numbers in these are E900 to E999. So again, we have natural sweeteners and we have artificial sweeteners, okay? So we'll have a look at the natural sweeteners first. The first one is fructose, fruit, honey, and vegetables. And they are found in canned vegetables, okay? Table sugar, and the correct name for table sugar is sucrose. So any word you see in an ingredients list with OSC on the end, you can kind of nearly guarantee that there is a sugar or a sweetener involved. There are over 50 words, 50 types of sugars that can be used to sweeten, okay, or sweeteners. So table sugar comes from either sugar cane, which is pictured there, or sugar beet, and we don't grow any of our own sugar in Ireland anymore. We sold off the company back about 20 years ago, and we import all our sugar. And sugar is used in the likes of biscuits and canned fruit. And then glucose syrup is found in fruit and honey, and it's used to sweeten sweets and jelly. So we'll go back here to, all right, we'll see if we can see anything here. Okay, so sweeteners here, they have an artificial sweetener because it's a diet drink. Sucralose as well, they're all artificial ones. Okay, we'll go to the jelly because that's pure sugar. And we'll see. So glucose, fructose syrup, yeah. So you have your two there. That's the main ingredient. Water. Sugar is another one, so your table sugar, okay, as well. So there's two types of sugar in the jelly. You've your glucose, fructose syrup, which is a liquid, and then your sugar as well. And I'm not sure, I doubt the gravy may. No, and as we'd suspect, okay. So there are natural sweeteners. The artificial sweeteners then, there's two types. Intense ones, these are low in kilocalories. So they're used for diet foods because they don't give you energy. They are used in small amounts because they are much sweeter than sugar. So for example, saccharin perhaps could be nearly 1,000 times more sweet than sugar. So you'd only use 1,000th of the quantity in the ingredients list. Okay, so the first one is aspartame. It's derived or gotten by chemically combining two naturally occurring amino acids. So amino acids, they're the building blocks of protein. They combined aspartic acid and phenylalanine. And I've spoken about phenylalanine before because of that disease, PKU. Certain people can't digest it. And we use aspartame in sweetening tablets or powder, such as Canderel. Okay, so for example, their aspartame is approximately 200 times sweeter than sucrose or table sugar. So a little goes a very long way. And saccharin then, look, we're back here to coal tar. It is used in sweetening tablets or powder like Hermesitas. Any of those little tablets or powders you'd put into your coffee or tea instead of sugar. And any no added sugar canned vegetables. So there's a picture there of the no added sugar beans. You would find that there is saccharin in that as well. So we'll go back here to our diet drink. Okay, and you can see here the sweeteners, there's three involved. You have sulfamine K, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, sucralose, and saccharin. So they are all our artificial sweeteners to make it taste similar to the normal sugar soft drink. Okay. Now, they are intense sweeteners. They're much sweeter than normal sugar, so a little goes a long way. We also have bulk sweeteners. Okay. So these are high in kilocalories, and they're using the same amounts as sugar because they have similar sweetness. So there's a sweetness scale. The bulk sweeteners have similar amounts. Sorbitol then are found from lichens or lichens, depending on how you pronounce it. And that's it's a plant. You'll find them on old dead bark of trees, etc. It's found on rocks or trees and it's made of fungus or algae. And you'll find sorbitol in sugar-free confectionery. So if you had a pack of sugar-free gum, you might find sorbitol as an ingredient. Mannitol as well, again, lichens or lichens, and they are found in sugar-free biscuits and sugar-free chewing gum for diabetics. Okay, and you can buy, like, the sugar-free chewing gum is readily available as well. Okay, so two questions here. Outline the use of sweeteners in food manufacturers. So it's to sweeten food in replacing sugar, and we know that the intense sweeteners are low in kilocalories, so it makes them good for people wanting to lose weight, etc. And then classify sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, and give one example of each. This is a higher level 12-mark question as well. So you talk about intense sweeteners, and you give your name, and then you talk about your bulk sweeteners, and you give a name as well. Okay. So you'd have to classify them. That's the key word there. So you're putting them into groups. Your intense, then your two, and your bulk sweeteners, your two there, sorbitol and mannitol, and you give your example of each for your full 12 marks. Okay, so I'm going to sign off on this one. I'm going to assign you some work as well, and I will talk to you in a while.